What is a traditional Catholic? I don't know how many times people have asked that question and actually had an answer. What is a traditional Catholic? And if I may give my own personal answer to that question, a traditional Catholic is somebody who actually believes in the Catholic faith, whole and entire. We can look at the Catechism of the Council of Trent, and we can say, there you have the faith, the Catholic faith explained to you. A traditional Catholic is one who believes the traditional faith of the Church, but also practices the traditional religion of the Church, okay? And the traditional religion of the Catholic Church demands that certain things be done. In order to be a traditional Catholic, there are certain things you have to do. But the practicing the traditional Catholic religion also means that there are certain things the Catholic Church has said you must never do. There are certain things that are absolutely incompatible with being a traditional Catholic. Even among sedevacantists, there are differences that there are some who are actually practicing the traditional Catholic religion, and they will do what the Church has said one must always do to be a traditional Catholic, and they will never do what the Church has always condemned as being contrary to the practice of the faith. There's actually a third category, and there are things that the Church has approved under missionary circumstances that she would not approve ordinarily. An example of that would be Father Miguel Pro. During the persecution, the communist attempted takeover in Mexico back in the 1920s and 30s, the time of the Cristeros, who rose up to defend the Catholic faith against the communist invaders, right? So Father Miguel Pro would carry the Blessed Sacrament or would leave it, actually, but would go to homes of Catholics, clandestinely offer Mass and leave the Blessed Sacrament in their custody, in their homes. Ordinarily, the Church would not have permitted that. But he understood under the circumstances, this was necessary for the good of their souls. He was never condemned for that, never reproved for that I know of. So there are things that we know for a fact in the history of the Church that have been done in times of crisis that the Church later said this was the right thing to do. We know from that example of the Church's own judgment what to do in a time of crisis. And that's exactly what we traditional Catholics are doing. And others, whether they're sedevacantists or not, if they're doing things that the Church has always condemned and said could never be justified in the name of the traditional Catholic religion, traditional Catholic faith, they're actually not traditional Catholics at all.